How you doing, YouTube? Matt Master Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of, Brett-based, Belgian-influenced beer in the form of Perennial Artisan Ales. It's their Distant Land. This is a Belgian-style ale brewed with Brettanomyces. I have not done a Perennial beer in quite some time. And I was at a out-of-town bottle shop kind of floating around, and I didn't really see anything I wanted to pick up. I just knee-jerk looking around, what should I get, what should I get, what should I get? Didn't really see much. And this kind of caught my eye because I love this label. We'll get to that in a minute. This is one of my favorite labels I've seen in quite some time. But then I looked in the back, and it has a date on it. I don't know if that's a born-on date. I assume it is, and it is 4/24/2018. Guess what today is? 4/24/2019. So you're talking about a year-old, 6.2% Belgian-style ale brewed with Brett. It's got to be wheelhouse right now. So what else is it saying here? Distant Land, Brett Series, Perennial Artisan Ales. Distant Land, Belgian-style ale with Brettanomyces. 6.2% alcohol by volume, Belgian-style Saison, bottle conditioned with Brettanomyces. Classina. So Brett C. A lot of citrus off this one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Besides the data I already told you. Done and done. This is a pretty fucking label. I'm telling you right now. We'll get to that in a second. Let's crack her open. See how the... Oh, nice little hiss on that. Nothing super explosive. I kind of dig that. So we'll see where this one kind of lands. So, yeah, I was just in a mood. I didn't know what to pick up, and I saw this. The label caught my eye, and I'm like, oh, man, I haven't had a nice kind of decently aged kind of Brett beer in a while. So I'm like, let me just kind of pick this up and see where we go with this one. Should be a fun one, hopefully. But look at this label. I mean, it's got this beautiful kind of semi-embossed, really nice kind of like linen style kind of label. Really thick, really kind of dense kind of label. And the way that kind of shimmering gold foil kind of works on it, just super pretty. It's the whole reason I picked it up. In a nice kind of 375 format. I'm a fan. That is beautiful. That is an absolutely beautiful beer. Look at that thing. It's just got a super vibrant carbonation. It reminds you of like a champagne on steroids, but it's got a much more haziness to it. As you can see here, it has this gravity-defying creaminess. This is a slow pour beer. If I actually took this beer and like just poured a little bit more and poured a little bit more, I could get one of those super kind of trendy kind of slow pour tops in it, no problem at all. And she's got a subtle haze to her. She just screams all about being pretty. That, my friends, is what I call a pretty beer. Give it a quick swirl. That head kind of jumps out up. So I'm not really going to get much of a nose on this. Such is life. Let's snort some foam. Yeah, soft lemon lime vibes. I'm not really getting an overt funkiness from it, but I'm not expecting to get a big nose off this because of how gigantic this head is. But I'm getting a soft citrus on it. I believe that's coming mostly from the Brett. I'm not getting a huge funkiness on there, although there is a bit of spiciness going on. She smells nice. Smells vibrant. She smells very much like a farmhouse ale, like as opposed to a Saison. It just smells like something that I believe would have been brewed back in the day. I'm talking about kind of Brett kind of exists everywhere, so it kind of makes sense when it comes to this, but it just smells like a summer beer you would drink out in the middle of a field somewhere. Too bad I'm not doing this one outside, but she smells pretty, nice, not overly impactful, but then again, we're dealing with a giant head on here. Citrus laden. Let's just dive in. Cheers. That's delicious. That's delicious. Oh yeah. You get this really nice carbonation on it. It's vibrant. It's not aggressive. It's not sprightly. It's not in your face, but it's there. There's a citrus component. I believe you're getting a little bit of soft citrus from hopping in here, but you're definitely getting a heaping, helping citrus vibes from that Brett C. It's coming off very much like a mixture of grapefruit and pineapple fleshiness. And it's really, really, really fun. There's a nice soft peppery note floating around in there. got this nice drying component to it. It dries it out just enough because it's not an overly sweet beer, but it's sweet because there's not a huge bittering component. There's not a huge drying component. So it definitely leans heavily into sweet territory, even though it's not sweet. It's sweeter than every other component in a beer. But that nice kind of lasting dryness throughout the beer just is there, and it needs to be there to temper some of that sweetness so it just doesn't come off as just a little bit too cloying for its ABV and style. It's soft. It's gentle. It's going down super fast. This is a really good beer. This, to me, is some of my favorite beer, period, in the world. I mean, the style and the way this beer comes off. A Brett-based beer. More specifically, Brett C-based Belgian ales. Because you do get a little bit of soft bubblegum vibes in there. A little bit of soft pepperiness. So it's something a little bit further than Saison. But it's not overly in your face. So that adds a little bit of sweetness to it. These Belgian-style farmhouse ales with a Brett C are just... It's just what belongs, you know. I talk about that pH balance where you're drinking it and it goes down super easy. This one has a touch of acidity to it, to where it's not as gentle as a lot of those, but it's very close. And it's just so easy to drink, so welcoming. I'm gonna sneeze, but try to ward it off. But this is just so good. Man, that's so good. This is like what I want to drink. This is what I want out of my faucet, my water fountain. This is what I want in the 30-rack cans when I go to, a sporting event, a tailgate. This is what I want to drink. Sure, you have to buy bottles of these. Kind of makes sense. It's bottle condition with Brett, so you can't really can these kind of things. You can, but you can go sideways pretty quick. But, man, this is beer. To me, this is as close to the pure definition of beer as we'll get from my personal taste. And I think it's just absolutely not only delicious beer, but beautiful. Beautiful is very much the word I would like to... If someone said one adjective, it would be beautiful. Not even pretty, just beautiful. A little bit of a difference. I dig it. So yeah, nice soft dryness, kind of bounce off a little bit of that sweetness that you get from that kind of soft bubblegum, on top of that big kind of fleshy, what did I talk about, that kind of pineapple, grapefruit, kind of fruity sweetness from that Brett C. Soft, sweet graininess, nothing too distinct there, a little bit of soft bitterness, nothing too crazy, and like I said, again, finishing with that dryness that lingers, that just kind of adds a bit of balance to the whole thing. Absolutely beautiful beer. So let's talk about it. Is it one of the better Brett-based beers? Brett Saison that I've had as of late. Absolutely fantastic. I will buy this again. Why? Because one, I know where to find it, and two, $8 a bottle. I have no problems paying $8 a bottle for this beer right now. You're talking $3.75, right? This isn't 500 milliliter. It can't be. They actually not have it written. $3.75 right in front of my face. Some people will be like, "Oh, that's kind of pricey." I have no problems with that. Do you know what I mean? Zero qualms whatsoever. I will be buying a couple of these, and I'll be sharing these with friends throughout the summer. And leave you with, if you like, what will you like this beer? If you like beer, I'm just stopping there. If you like beer. If you don't like this beer, if you don't like this, you don't like beer. There's a little bit of a kind of asterisk on there in that some people just aren't ready for these kind of beers. It sounds super pretentious, and I've said it before, but it kind of makes sense. In that they're just new to the beer game, and hops is all they understand, or pastry stouts is all they understand. But once you actually get to the point where you appreciate a wide gamut of beers, I think this is something that pretty much universally would be, okay, this is good stuff. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Down there if you want to talk about it. Massive Beers if you want to check me out doing the social media stuff. Beer Massive if you want to check me out doing the whole podcasting stuff. And hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice, beautiful, distant land right now. And hope to see you next time. Cheers.